हाय। मेरी आपको आवाज़ आ रही है? Can you hear me? Hello. If you can hear me, you can hear people. Voice is clear. So this lecture is basically this lecture is about the paper 1 UGC NET के लिए, and this one it's about reading comprehension. तो आप कैसे comprehension को समझेंगे, उनके उनके क्वेश्चंस को कैसे आप आंसर करेंगे, that is the main goal of this reading comprehension thing. And I will come live at uh, at uh, 11, around 11, and you can practice some questions with me. So okay, so let's just start, jump into the session. Okay. ये हमारा every Sunday we have an all India challenge free test series for NDA UGC NET. You should give the tests in order to check your preparation. And we have the UGC NET June 2023 batch. इसमें आपको पेपर 1 का पूरी चीज़ आपको मिल जाएगी. देन द सेकंड पेपर जो हम लोगों के पास है वो है इंग्लिश, कंप्यूटर साइंस, economics, geography, commerce and management. Okay. Okay. Then you should know that we are preparing this batch. We are preparing for the batch live 30 days challenge, 5,000 plus PYQ discussions, and you should join us because obviously it will help you in your in your preparation, and you would know कि आपके पास कितना आपको कितना prepare है. This is the last month and you should know कि आप आपका preparation कैसा चल रहा है. Okay, so that's the 30 days challenge. And we also have the Mahasangram. And we have the recorded lectures 30 days ke for 999. You will get access to these lectures for the UGC NET 2023. Okay, now let's begin with our session. अब हम लोग फर्स्ट चीज देखते हैं. द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन we should look into. I think you cannot see that. Okay, the first question is ये मैं रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन के पर्पस से पढ़ा रही हूँ. ठीक है. So geography seeks to understand the physical and human organization of the surface of the earth. Geography, और एक चीज याद रखिएगा, इसमें टाइम इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, बट क्योंकि आरसी में सॉरी क्योंकि आरसी में हमारे पास 5 क्वेश्चंस हैं, यू कैन डिवोट योर टाइम टू दिस क्वेश्चन, एंड आपको अगर एक बार में कॉम्प्रिहेंशन नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो चिंता मत करिए, एक बार उसको और रीड करिए एंड यू विल गेट द क्रक्स ऑफ इट। फर्स्ट रीड में नहीं समझ में आता है, किसी को नहीं समझ में आता है कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, मुझे भी नहीं आया था अपने एग्जाम में, ठीक है, बट सेकेंड टाइम थर्ड टाइम यू कैन रीड इट बिकॉज it has you also have lectures recorded for computer science paper 2, that would be taken by Devi Datta sir, okay, so I am from the English faculty anyway, so आप अपने टाइम को इसमें दे सकते हो क्योंकि इसमें 5 क्वेश्चन है, 5 क्वेश्चन 10 मार्क्स, बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रहता है ये आरसी रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन। इट कैन मेक एंड ब्रेक, मतलब आपके किस चीज एज इन द पेपर दैट यू गिविंग, उसमें अगर आपका आरसी के क्वेश्चन सही हो जाते हैं, 2-3 आपको टारगेट लेके चलना है कि 4 सही होने हैं, 4 सही होने हैं, नहीं तो 2-3 तो होने ही होने हैं। अगर बिकॉज अगर 3 भी इसमें नहीं हुए तो आपका प्रॉब्लम है। तो एटलीस्ट आप मेरे साथ प्रैक्टिस करिए एंड देखिए कि एटलीस्ट आपके शुरुआत में कम से कम 3 क्वेश्चंस क्या हो रहे हैं या नहीं। व्हेन आई गेव माय आरसी, क्योंकि मैंने प्रैक्टिस की थी, क्योंकि मैंने रीडिंग की थी, आई वॉज एबल टू स्कोर 5 आउट ऑफ 5 इन द रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन। बट आपको उसके लिए एवरी डे यू हैव टू डेडिकेट 15 मिनट्स, 15 मिनट्स किस लिए? रीडिंग के, फॉर रीडिंग। जस्ट अ सेकेंड। For the interruption. Okay. So let's just move on to the first question. Geography seeks to understand the physical and human organization of the surface of Earth. In the field of geography, interrelated themes are frequently seen. Geography में interrelated themes मतलब disciplines, अलग अलग डिसिप्लिन्स हम लोग ज्योग्राफी में ही देख सकते हैं। ओके, सो दीज आर स्केल, पैटर्न, प्रोसेस। Scale is defined as the level of structure or organization at which a phenomenon is studied. Pattern uh, is defined as the variation observed in a phenomena studied at a particular scale. The third theme, process, further connects the first two. Process is defined as the description of how the factors that act a phenomenon act to product a pattern at a particular scale. For instance, when a passenger on an aircraft looks out of the window, the view changes according to the scale. ये geography में अकॉर्डिंग टू द स्केल, अगर कोई पैसेंजर एयरक्राफ्ट या एयरप्लेन से बाहर देख रहा है, द व्यू विल चेंज अकॉर्डिंग टू द scale. Okay, at the global scale, when the aircraft maintains its height, he can see chunks of clouds. उस global height पे उसको clouds दिखेंगे in their entire pattern, the sun or the moon as per the time. When the aircraft loses a little height, passengers can see the land and water masses in their different colors and the shape of land masses. Okay, at the continental scale, the passengers can see the shapes of the land features and how they are distributed. The pattern emerges as the variation of land and water and the proportion of each. Looking carefully, passengers can note how each landmass aligns with others and how each mountain bears the sign of the process through which it emerged. Okay, this is not the full passage. Okay, now the processes in a geography change is a regular and repetitive manner. One instance of this is the annual solar cycle of the sun. And the earth. Most systems in nature display time cycles that are organized in a rhythm of their own. As these time cycles and natural processes are always active, the environment of the earth is always in a state of dynamism. This environmental change is not only the result of natural process but also the result of human activity. Okay, ये ह्यूमन एक्टिविटी की वजह से भी होता है. सो फिजिकल जियोग्राफी वर्क्स towards understanding the interaction between man and nature and also the results of this interaction in order to manage global climate change. तो एक बार आप फिर से इसको रीड करिए and let's just practice it together. Okay, I'm giving you 2 minutes to read this. Okay, बढ़िया. Good morning. Okay. The first question is, the time cycles of the system of nature follow their own. What do they follow? uh, do they follow the path, the rhythm, the process, or cycle? What exactly do they follow? आंसर दीजिए, if you can. Okay. T. Okay, let's look at the answer. The answer is B, rhythm. हम लोग rhythm को देखते हैं. The time cycles of the system of nature follow their own rhythm. ये हमारे हमारे stanza में ही था कि they follow their own rhythm. If you see here, that so scale is defined as the level of structure and organization at which phenomena is studied. Pattern is defined as variation observed in phenomena studied at a particular scale. Third theme, process, further connects the two. Process is defined as the description of how the factors that act a phenomena act to produce a pattern at a particular scale. So अगर आप elimination से भी करना चाहें, because none of these three, the path, the process, the cycle, these are defined in a different manner. तो अगर आप elimination के process से भी करना चाहें, so the answer would be rhythm. Okay, the answer would be rhythm. So let's look at the second question. The view seen by passenger looking out of the window of an aircraft will be affected by what? Will be affected by what? अभी हम लोगों ने पढ़ा है. It will be affected by ऊंचाई. अगर हम लोग कहें तो क्या समझ में आता है आपको? एयरप्लेन की height. I'm giving you a hint. So what would be the answer? The view seen by a passenger looking out of the window of an aircraft will be affected by the. ये सीधा सीधा statement दिया हुआ है उसमें, question में ही दिया हुआ है. The answer would be scale. And if you can see, यहाँ पे scale is defined as the level of structure. Scale is defined as the level of structure on organization at which phenomena is studied. And जब एक height पे होता है, when a passenger on an aircraft looks out of the window, the view changes according to the scale. तो कुछ आंसर सीधे सीधे हमको comprehension में ही दिए रहते हैं. You have to look for that also. Okay? Yes. So the answer was scale. ये हम लोग को सीधा सीधा पैराग्राफ में ही दिया है. इसके लिए हमको और ज़्यादा दिमाग लगाने की कोशिश ही नहीं करनी है. It's given in that stanza that you're referring to. Okay? Okay. So the next question. ठीक है. Physical geography studies the result of the interaction between man and nature in order to what? In order to understand the global climate change, study the impact of man's activities on nature, address the issue of global climate change, and reduce man-animal conflict. Physical geography studies the result of the interaction between man and nature. Man और nature के बीच में जो interaction है, the results of interaction between man and nature, वो physical geography किस लिए study करता है? It studies it for what reason? Is it to understand the global climate change? See, between man and nature, ये दोनों key terms इसमें याद रखिएगा. Understand global climate change, study the impact of man's activities on nature, address the issue of global climate change, reduce man-animal conflict. So, what do we study it for? हाँ, पैराग्राफ को फॉलो करके ही आंसर देना है. So the answer would be address the issue of global climate change. Address the issue of हाँ, अगर man or nature, some questions in your paper would be of common sense कि हम दो चीजें, इन दोनों ऑप्शंस में कंफ्यूजन हो सकता है. मैन और एनिमल का कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तो ज्योग्राफी से कोई मतलब नहीं है. ठीक है. अंडरस्टैंड ग्लोबल क्लाइमेट चेंज, हम लोग क्लाइमेट के बारे में इसमें मतलब दोनों के बारे में बात नहीं हुई है. मैन की एक्टिविटी से क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है उसके बारे में बात नहीं हुई है. ठीक है. तो स्टडी द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ मैन्स एक्टिविटीज ऑन नेचर. ऑन नेचर तो लिखा है, बट अबाउट व्हाट? अबाउट द इश्यू ऑफ ग्लोबल क्लाइमेट चेंज. सो जो जो क्लियर वर्ड्स में जो लिखा है, दैट इज द इश्यू ऑफ ग्लोबल क्लाइमेट चेंज. तो ये फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी स्टडी करती है. दिस इज द इंटरेक्शन बिटवीन man and nature, and this would be the answer. Address the issue of global climate change. Okay. Now the fourth question in geography, pattern studies the variation observed in a phenomena at. अब ये भी डायरेक्ट उसमें दिया था, डायरेक्ट उस पैराग्राफ में दिया था. This was also directly given in the paragraph. It was a particular scale. तो आपको उस पैराग्राफ से आगे जाने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. कुछ क्वेश्चंस इसी तरीके से बनते हैं जो बेसिकली टाइम के लिए, अगर आपने टाइम सही से यूज़ कर लिया उसका, तो यू कैन आंसर द क्वेश्चन करेक्टली. सो दिस वाज गिवन इन द पैराग्राफ इटसेल्फ. So the right answer would be a particular scale. Okay. The alignment of landmass with other elements can be seen by a passenger on a flight on a which scale? कौन सी scale पे? The alignment the alignment of landmass. Okay. So the landmass and water bodies, ये किस स्केल पे आपको दिखने लगती हैं? टाइम स्केल, लोकल स्केल, कॉन्टिनेंटल स्केल और ग्लोबल स्केल. तो ऑब्वियसली ये कॉन्टिनेंटल स्केल पे दिखेगी क्यों? क्योंकि जब आप कॉन्टिनेंटल स्केल पे आओगे तभी आपको डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कॉन्टिनेंट्स देखने को मिलेंगे. ओके, you can see the different continents and the water bodies that are there between them. The water bodies that are between them. आपको land दिखेगी and the water bodies that are between them on the continental scale. Okay, so this is the correct answer. This would be correct. This would be the correct answer of alignment of landmass with other elements can be seen by a passenger uh, on a flight. Passenger on a flight on a continental scale. Okay, let's move on. This was the first reading comprehension. अब दूसरे पे चलते हैं हम लोग. And again, we have this 5,000 plus PYQ discussion, the 30 days challenge. You should definitely join it. Okay, now we have the second question. ध्यान से पढ़िएगा. जरूरी नहीं है कि एक बार में समझ में आ जाए. You can read it twice, you can read it thrice, because it has 5 questions in whole. Okay, and 5 questions are a lot. 5 questions have a lot of weightage in your in paper 1. Okay, so each day at Shanti Niketan, the school starts with Saraswati Vandana. When painting competitions are held in the school, images of Hindu gods and goddesses are the most common. Sanskrit is the favorite subject of many students. Nothing is new about it except that the 1200 odd students studying in the Hindu-run school are Muslims. तो कोई चीज और नहीं है, लेकिन जो शांति निकेतन है, शांति निकेतन बेसिकली हिंदुइज्म प्रमोट कर रहा है. बट 12,000 स्टूडेंट्स, 12,000 मुस्लिम स्टूडेंट्स भी हमारा क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? संस्कृत. ओके, सो दिस इज अ peculiar thing about Shanti Niketan, that even 1200 Muslim students are studying what? Sanskrit. Okay, in 1983 when Ranchod Bhai Kiri started Shanti Niketan in the all Muslim Juhapura area of Ahmedabad in Gujarat, only 20% of the students were Muslim. So if it was started for Muslim people, but then again only 20% of the questions, only 20% of the students were what? They were Muslims. But when riots involving the Muslims of Juhapura and the Hindus of nearby Jivraj Park, Vejalpur, affected the locality, Hindus started migrating. Today, all the students are Muslims. Now, all the students are Muslims. And the school is an unparalleled example of harmony. Okay? So, जब वहाँ पे riots हुई थी, the Hindus, they started to move away. And therefore, today, this school, which was started for Muslims, now it contains the audience that is wholly Muslim. Okay, in 2002, when a section of inflated Muslims wanted the school closed, the parents of the students stood like a wall behind it. Shanti Niketan's principal said, "We never thought of moving the school out of the area because of the love and affection of the local Muslims." So you can see a kind of harmony between Hindus and Muslim, and you can see the trust that is there of the Muslim parents towards Shanti Niketan, which is actually a Hindu-run school. Okay. Indeed, they value the high standard of education which we have set. Such is the reputation of the school that some of the local Muslim strongmen accused of involvement in communal riots are willing to protect the school during the riots. So these Muslim people, they are willing to protect the school even during the riots. Okay. The parents of Shanti Niketan students believe that it is the best school when it comes to quality of teaching. So the quality of teaching, इस पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दिया जाता है, ना कि the rift between Muslim and Hindus. So you can see that there is a harmony between Hindus and Muslims. A large number of students have gone for both graduation and post-graduation studies. Significantly, the only Muslim teacher in the 40-member teaching staff, 40 member हैं टीचिंग स्टाफ के, सो देर आर 40 टीचर्स, जिसमें से एक मुस्लिम टीचर है नेम्ड हुसैना मंसूरी, और वो क्या पढ़ाती हैं, वो संस्कृत पढ़ाती हैं. शी डजंट टीच अ मुस्लिम सब्जेक्ट, शी टीचेस संस्कृत. So this is the sort of harmony that we find in Shanti Niketan, and the students and the teachers and even the parents who support this kind of harmony between Hindus and Muslims. In fact, she is so happy with the school. She, this teacher, Husaina Mansoori, she is so happy with the school that she recently declined the principalship of another Muslim-run school. तो उनको प्रिंसिपलशिप मिल रही थी दूसरे स्कूल की, बट शी डिक्लाइंड द प्रिंसिपलशिप ऑफ अनदर मुस्लिम रन स्कूल. ओके, सम ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स एंट्रीज इन recent inter-school painting competition were truly moving. One drew a picture of Bharat Mata with a mosque. तो भारत माता का picture with a mosque and temple. So the temple and mosque are drew together with the depiction of Bharat Mata, while another portrayed a boy tying Rakhi to his sister. So these Muslim students, what are they practicing? They are practicing the rituals of Hinduism. So this is the kind of harmony that we find in Shanti Niketan. Truly, Shanti Niketan is a beacon of hope that despite the provocations from both communities, Hindus and Muslims can live side by side with mutual respect. So, iska basically the tone of it is कि Hindus और Muslims में there's harmony. Okay, and then that even after so many communal violences and so many hatred, there is mutual respect. Okay, so this is about this paragraph is mostly about the harmony between Hindus and Muslims, and how Shanti Niketan as a school, it influences and enhances the harmony that is there. Okay, so let's look at the first question. How does Shanti Niketan school start the day? ये first line में दिया हुआ था passage के. So how does it start this school? So the Shanti Niketan school starts the day with Saraswati Vandana. This was the first sentence of the passage. Okay, so अभी हम लोगों ने previous question में भी देखा, previous passage में भी देखा कि directly passage के sentences से उठा के questions दे देते हैं. So these questions are easy, but when they ask you about कि आपको इस चीज से क्या समझ में आता है, that what do you understand by this line, or what is the meaning of this passage. So there are different interpretations that there are, जिसमें आपका इंटरप्रिटेशन दूसरा हो सकता है, मेरा इंटरप्रिटेशन दूसरा हो सकता है, बट देन अगेन देर इज वन इंटरप्रिटेशन अकॉर्डिंग टू द नेट एग्जामिनेशन विच वुड बी द राइट इंटरप्रिटेशन. एंड आपको कंफ्यूज करने के लिए दे विल गिव इंटरप्रिटेशंस जो जिनमें ABCD all the interpretation would seem to be the right one, but you will have to choose the most right answer in that. Okay, so this is a very direct question. Write the subject which is most preferred by the student. This is also a very, very direct question. Yes, it's Sanskrit. Okay, ये भी पैसेज में दिया हुआ था. Okay, let's move on. ये question बहुत easy था. Let's move on to the next question. Who protects the school during the riot times? तो कौन से लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं जब स्कूल राइट में होता है? राइट एज इन there are riots between the two communities. So what would be the answer? कौन से लोग उस स्कूल को प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं जो जब स्कूल्स में राइट होते हैं? That would be the local Muslims. Okay, that is the sort of harmony that we are talking about. Okay, the local Muslims are supporting a school which is run by Hindus, which practices the rituals of Hinduism, and still there is a sort of there's a sort of harmony between Hindus and Muslims, क्योंकि इसमें बेसिकली फोकस किस पे किया जाता है? एजुकेशन पे. So they are providing quality education, and so ये नहीं दिख हाँ Meenakshi, you're right. So the focus is on quality education and not on the fact that there are two communities present in this school. So therefore this pretty much there's a lot of harmony between these two groups. Okay, who is the teacher of Sanskrit? Now, who is the teacher of Sanskrit? Direct question from the passage. Okay. Now, who is the teacher of Sanskrit? It was the Muslim woman. It was the Muslim woman, Husaina Mansoori, जिन्होंने if you read the passage carefully, if you understood the passage carefully, you could see that Husaina Mansoori, she was the teacher who loved to teach Sanskrit. Even while herself being a Muslim, she was a person who loved Sanskrit. She even डिक्लाइंड क्या? उन्होंने प्रिंसिपलशिप भी एक स्कूल की डिक्लाइन कर दी थी. व्हाई? सो शी कैन टीच संस्कृत बिकॉज शी लव्ड द सब्जेक्ट. So this is the kind of relationship that we find, the love for the subject that is there, the quality of education that is there in the school, and not the community hatred or the tension between the two communities. Okay, what is the hope despite the communal riots? Hindus and Muslims can live side by side. Only Hindus can live. Hindus and Muslims cannot live side by side. Only Muslims can live. So what would be the correct answer? This answer is हाँ, Hindus and Muslims can live side by side. आप एलिमिनेशन से कैसे कर सकते हो? ओनली हिंदूज कैन लिव, हम तब से हार्मनी 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 की बात कर रहे हैं, हिंदू मुस्लिम हिंदू मुस्लिम हिंदू मुस्लिम हार्मनी, तो अकेले हिंदूज कैसे रह सकते हैं? एंड देन हिंदूज एंड मुस्लिम्स कैन नॉट लिव, इसमें एक नेगेटिव आ गया, एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द पॉजिटिव थिंग्स about these two communities, and then there is only Muslims. Again, we have been talking about Hindus and Muslims together, so the answer would be Hindus and Muslims can live side by side. Okay, that would be your correct answer. Okay, so you will get the recorded lectures for 999 for the UGC NET 2023, the 30 days lectures. You should definitely register for that. Okay, and all the PDFs that there are, you can get on the app itself. Okay, then let's move on to the question third. अब आराम आराम से पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है? एंड बहुत जल्दी में नहीं करना है इस क्वेश्चन को, बट नहीं तो गलत हो जाएगा, ठीक है? ओके, so in terms of labor, for decades the relatively low cost and high quality of Japanese workers conferred considerable competitive advantage across numerous durable goods and consumer electronics industries. Example, machinery, automobiles, televisions, radios. Then labor based advantages shifted to South Korea. सबसे पहले किसके पास थी? जापान के पास, then South Korea, then to Malaysia, Mexico and other nations. Today China appears to be capitalizing best of the on the basis of labor. Japanese firms still remain competitive in market for such durable goods, electronics and other products, but the labor force is no longer sufficient for competitive advantage over manufacturers in other industrializing nations. So there is the Japanese firm, they have a hold on the market, but still जो competitive advantage है वो उनको नहीं मिल रही है अभी भी. Okay, such a shifting of labor based advantage is clearly not limited to manufacturing industries. Today, a huge number of IT and service jobs are moving from Europe and North America to India, Singapore, and like countries with relatively well-educated, low-cost workforces possessing technical skills. Why? Because cheap labor is present here. Okay, so यहाँ पे those jobs are coming. Okay, however, as educational levels and technical skills continue to rise in other countries, India, Singapore, and like nations enjoy labor-based competitive advantage. Enjoying labor-based competitive advantage today are likely to find such advantage cannot be sustained through the emergence of new competitors. Of terms of capital for centuries, of terms of capital for centuries, the days of gold coins and later even paper money restricted financial flows. Subsequently, regional concentrations were formed where large banks, industries, and markets coalesced. But today, capital flows internationally at rapid speed. Global commerce no longer requires regional interaction among business players. Regional capital concentrations in places such as New York, London, and Tokyo still persist. Of course, but the capital concentrated there is no longer sufficient for competitive advantage over other capitalists distributed worldwide. Only if an organization is able to combine, integrate, and apply its resources, example land, labor, capital, IT, in an effective manner that is not readily imitable by the competitors, can such an organization enjoy competitive advantage sustainable over time. In a knowledge-based theory of the firm, this idea is extended to view organizational knowledge as a source with at least the same level of power and importance as the traditional economic inputs. An organization with superior knowledge can achieve competitive advantage in markets that appreciate the application of such knowledge. Semiconductors, genetic engineering, pharmaceuticals, software, what was that? Yeah, an organization with superior knowledge can achieve competitive advantage in markets that appreciate the application of such knowledge. Semiconductors, genetic engineering, pharmaceutical, software, military warfare, and like knowledge intensive competitive arenas provide both time proven and current examples. Consider semiconductors, example, computer chips, which are made principally of sand and common metals. These ubiquitous and powerful electronic devices are designed within common office buildings using commercially available tools and fabricated within factories in many industrialized nations. Hence, land is not the key competitive resource in the semiconductor industry. So, now what is happening? अब ये पैसेज को पढ़ने को समझने के लिए you have to have a little knowledge of politics, of what is going on in today's world, right? And for that you can follow certain news channels, that news apps that give you the information of the current affairs in short. Okay, so in order to understand this concept of firms and business is a huge concept, and therefore if you want to understand this, you have to kind of delve into the politics of it. Okay, and that is why I took up this question, so that I could discuss the fact that you have to read regularly the news for RC news, as in ये नहीं कि आप पूरा न्यूज़पेपर उठा के बैठ जाओ. That there is the shorts, there is a channel, there's an app, news shorts, something like that. उसमें रोज एक समरी आती है, and you read that, and your knowledge of the day-to-day things would improve by that. Firstly this, then you have to read, if आप एक novel for 15 minutes, from 15 to 20 minutes आपको रीडिंग की आदत डालनी पड़ेगी. रोज 15 to 20 minutes you have to give to reading. Okay, and only after this can you understand passages like this. Okay, this is a passage which is a little difficult to tackle, but then again with practice, with these things, you can tackle these questions and you can answer them easily. Okay, so let's just एक बार आप लोग थोड़ा सा read कर लीजिए, and then we'll move on to the questions. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the question. Again, uh, something that is straight away from the paragraph. Uh, which country enjoyed competitive advantages in automobile industries for decades? The first line of the passage answers this question. So, uh, what would be that country? What would be the name of that country? South Korea? No. Are you sure? South Korea? uh, it's Japan. Okay. तो फर्स्ट में ही हम लोगों को बताया था कि जापानीज मार्केट जो था, द जापानीज मार्केट, आई रिमेम्बर द टर्म आल्सो, द जापानीज मार्केट, उसका this market enjoyed competitive advantage in automobile, then it lost this competitive advantage to other countries. For example, in present day किसको बोला था उन्होंने? चाइना को बोला था. But the first country which enjoyed competitive advantage in automobile industries for decades was Japan. Okay. Uh, why labor-based competitive advantages of India and Singapore cannot be sustained in IT and service sectors? Why labor-based competitive advantages of India and Singapore cannot be sustained in IT and service sectors? A, due to diminishing levels of skill, due to capital intensive technology making inroads, because of new competitors, because of shifting of labor based advantage in manufacturing industries. So why is it? Why labor based competitive advantages of India and Singapore cannot be sustained in IT and service sectors? Obviously क्योंकि नए competitors आ रहे हैं, because of new competitors. There are new competitors in the market every day. So that would be your answer. How can an organization enjoy uh, uh, competitive advantage sustainable over time? Through regional capital flows, through regional interactions among business players, by making large banks, industries, and markets coalesced by effective use of various instrumentalists. Now, this इसके लिए ये आपको कंफ्यूज करने के लिए एक चीज, एक ऑप्शन इसमें दिया हुआ है, but then you can answer the question if you understand the passage very correctly. And if you have that sort of uh, reading skill. So the answer would be by effective use of various instrumentalists. Okay. This is probably the last question in this. What is required to ensure competitive advantages in specific markets? Access to capital, common office buildings, superior knowledge, common metals. तो क्या ज़रूरी है ताकि हमारे पास competitive advantage रहे in specific markets? What is required out of such markets? So again, इसमें it's a very, this is a question that you can answer with your common sense. even when there's uh, little mention of it in the passage, that is superior knowledge. Okay, so superior knowledge would be the answer. And yes, so I think I will continue. We have another question. The passage also mentions about the trend of what? Global financial flow, absence of competition in manufacturing industry, regionalization of capitalists, organizational incompatibility. So what is it? The passage also mentions about the trend of, क्या किस trend को mention कर रहा है passage? Which trend is the passage mentioning? It is talking about the global financial flow. Uh, uh, Questions में what is being talked about? The topic is the global market. How do the global markets work? Okay, and I'm telling you कि क्वेश्चन में ग्लोबल मार्केट्स के बारे में बात हो रही है कि कैसे चाइना, कैसे साउथ कोरिया, कैसे जापान, इंडिया एंड दीज कंट्रीज are kind of maintaining their advantages over each other's markets. How one has an advantage over the other. So हम लोग बहुत सारी कंट्रीज के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, उनके फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, उनके मार्केट्स के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. सो इफ व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्लोबल मार्केट्स, सो व्हाट वुड बी द राइट आंसर? द ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल फ्लो. दैट इज व्हाई the answer would be global financial flow. Okay, okay. I had one other passage, but I think I'm exceeding my time, so let's just end the session. कल आप लोग थोड़ा सा अपना रीडिंग की हैबिट बनाइए, and because if you do not read, you will not be able to answer these questions. Okay, reading is very important for answering these questions. So 15 minutes of reading. हाँ, इन शॉर्ट नाम है उसका, इन शॉर्ट. इन शॉर्ट एक ऐप है. डोंट वरी, आप रीडिंग की हैबिट बनाइए. एवरी डे 15 to 20 minutes you give to some novel or a newspaper, and there is an app called InShort जो daily news देती है, and it gives news in the form of a summary. Okay, so if you have that app, you can read the news every day, and with that you will have access to the everyday on current affairs. Okay, so current affairs are also important in the sense of they test your knowledge कि क्या आप जान रहे हैं क्या चल रहा है वर्ल्ड में कि नहीं. Okay, so this was the question. Thank you for joining me. Happy learning, and keep growing. And please, if you want to be if you want to score well in RC, you have to read. Okay, so please read. That would be my advice to all of you. Okay, so thank you very much.